So if and when you guys get to the point of actually having to hire for your business, you know that onboarding new employees can be a really long, arduous process. And so as such, what we're doing internally at Butler is creating a series of videos for new employees. So I thought it'd be helpful for you, our YouTube audience, to see kind of a behind the scenes look at what our onboarding process looks like. So the next video you're gonna watch is from the perspective of a new recruit at Butler. Hope you enjoy. So we talked about the 3 different types of work. We talked about the roles for a project manager. Now I want to start to talk to you about the daily tasks. Okay, so what does that role look like in the day-to-day? And so the first point is communication. Though our primary mode of communication is email, it's really up to you to figure out and to learn how our clients best communicate. So I definitely want to make sure that we have an email record of all of our primary points of communication. So always make sure that we have something in writing, or that clients are responding to emails. But if the client responds better to phone calls or text messages, or if they have maybe their own internal way of communicating through Slack or something else, we have to make sure that the project manager is open and flexible to communicate with clients the way they best feel communicated with. And so with that being said, we have some standard tools of communication. So our team must be communicated through Asana as well as email, and our client interactions should always have an email follow-up. So if you're speaking with a client and you come to some sort of agreement, or you are needing to maybe pivot, always make sure that you document that through an email and the client responds back with their confirmation. And so a couple of points when it comes to communication is that all emails received during the workday between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. should be replied to within 2 hours. So if you're getting an email at 9 in the morning, we don't want to wait until 5 in the afternoon or 5 in the evening to be able to reply to that. We want to make sure that all emails, as best as possible, that are received between 9 to 5 are replied to within 2 hours. Emails received after working hours should be replied to as soon as the next working day. And so again, if it's at 6 o'clock on a Friday that you're getting an email, then at least get to it by Monday, that following Monday, so long as Monday's not a holiday. And then all urgent or immediate items should be communicated with via phone call. We don't want to just rely completely upon email to make sure that urgent things are handled. If something's urgent, get people on the phone. I always want to make sure that we are calling people, texting people, getting them on the phone. Unanswered phone calls, leave a voicemail, and then follow up with either a text and or an email. So again, if it's urgent, give them a call. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail, send them a text, and then follow up email. Outside of communication, again, that's a big part of your daily task, is communicating to everybody who needs to be communicated with. But documentation is huge. If it's not documented, people start to get amnesia and they forget what you guys have talked about. And so every line of communication should be documented. We have a folder within Dropbox called Meetings, Strategies, and Notes. So a lot of those important documents should be stored there, timestamped with the correct date. And then a lot of times what's easy to do is just document it through an email, send it out to the client, and then save it in their folder as a PDF. Save that email as a PDF, but make sure that all communication is documented and then clearly communicated to the team. Okay, so daily tasks include communication, documentation. We talked about this in the last video, but I'm going to reiterate again, is task management. So pretty much every day you're going to be managing tasks on your projects. The fourth thing is client meetings and reporting. So this is really big. Because one of our core values is open and honest communication, as such, we have to do reporting and regular client meetings. And so if we're working, especially on a project, maybe that's gonna be 2 to 3 months, we wanna make sure that we establish the frequency of client interaction. And so you could tell the client, like, hey, I'm going to give you a once a week just recap of what we've done and where we're going, as well as regular phone call follow-ups. And so we want to make sure that communication and reporting is done verbally or in person, ideally, as well as documented on paper and saved into their folder. Right here in your job description, it says the project manager should be in weekly, verbal, on the phone, or in person contact with our clients to give status updates, as well as sprint planning sessions and sprint reviews. So again, if you have the project is split up into different phases or sprints, after each sprint, should be a sprint review with the client so they understand what has been done and what we're gonna be covering in the next sprint. And then another part of your daily tasks would be staff meetings. And so part of our project management process, we have adopted Scrum, which is a daily stand-up meeting that is not gonna be, and it shouldn't be longer than 10, 15 minutes, and hold those daily stand-ups with our team, as well as periodic check-ins to stay on top of projects and tasks. And so staff meetings are really important. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure this content gets out to more people. And if you are a creative entrepreneur and you're looking to level up, maybe you feel stuck, learn from my mistakes. At agency.butlerbranding.com, we have a free webinar that talks about everything I've learned in scaling Butler Branding since we started in 2012. I'm talking about everything I've learned from brand positioning, marketing, sales, strategy, and project management. So learn to level up for free at agency.butlerbranding.com.